I hate Christmas, and Giles too, and Lisa doesn't give a shit. Plus, she's a Jew, so she doesn't even know what Christmas is. And we didn't think this through, and we kind of decided what to do at the last minute. And we were talking to each other, and I was like, yeah, you know that in Japan, what is traditional for Christmas time is to eat some fried chicken, and there the KFCs are all packed for Christmas. And shit, issue with my camera angle. I gotta fix this real quick. Great. So we are doing the Japanese style Christmas episode. And there was another reason, I think. I'm a little fuzzy on the details. I've had a long day.
Was the reason that we're doing a Japanese Christmas?
Yeah, I mean, the reason that we're eating fried chicken is because it's Japanese. The reason it's Japanese, I forgot.
Do we know? Do we know why it's Japanese?
I guess because just fried chicken is delicious. Oh, why do Japanese people eat fried chicken on Christmas? I have no idea, actually.
Giles, do you know?
I have.
No. No, I thought it was Nelson that brought it up.
You're the geographically closest to Japan of all of us.
So.
Oh,
yes.
That's true.
By far.
We're like in a similar time zone, so...
Yeah. Do you know a lot of Japanese people? Are there a lot of Japanese people in Australia?
Not at all.
No, none.
There's lots of, like, I would say, like, Asian immigrants, but...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, especially from Lebanon, I heard.
Probably.
It's like Middle
just
East.
something I heard.
Asia.
Yeah.
But anyway, not Japan specifically.
No, I actually think, like, there's not... Just Japan in general doesn't actually, like, immigrate, like...
They have it so good in Japan,
proportionally
why would they ever leave?
Right. Well, they don't allow a lot of immigration into their country either.
Yeah.
There's like a nationalism there.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all better off
Sure.
without each other.
So I found an article by the Smith. Excuse me, Giles. What were you saying?
It was something about anime being like infecting the world or something. I don't know.
That's true.
What are you looking at, Nelson?
I am looking at an article from the Smithsonian entitled "Why Japan is Obsessed with Kentucky Fried Chicken on Christmas." So it's not just fried chicken; it's especially KFC, and it started by a KFC marketing campaign in 1974. Basically, KFC started some ad on Japanese TV in the 70s, like Kentucky for Christmas, and it caught on, and that's it. Now, Colonel Sanders is the Japanese equivalent to Santa Claus, basically.
It makes sense. He kind of looks.
Oh, wow.
He kind of looks like Santa Claus. He's Western.
Yep.
Christmas is Western.
Yeah.
It all kind of.
Especially just once again.
And Coca-Cola basically like controls the image of Santa in like Western countries. So.
Oh really?
Why not KFC in Japan?
Yeah, that's true. Although my KFC only supplies Pepsi, it does not have Coke products. Do your KFCs have Pepsi or Coke?
No, same in France. Only Pepsi, no Coke.
Yeah, just Pepsi. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, way to keep it together, KFC.
I'm gonna start eating because I feel famished.
Did you know that KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut are all the same company?
No, I did not.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Did you know that KFC comes from the U.S. state of Kentucky, hence the name?
Which state does KFC come from?
What, the chicken? I don't know. I really don't know.
Which is really surprising to me why Kentucky is world famous, because it's not a very classy place. As far as what I know of. Okay, so tell me about the KFC that y'all are eating.
I've heard great things about it. I started by the tendies, and this is for my man, Dino Tendies.
You got Dino Tendies? At KFC?
No, it's my... Dino Tendies is the guy from 4chan who does the weird cooking. in that trash in that trap house in Florida
Gotcha.
with the possums. Well, I was just dedicating my first standee to him. I invited him to the podcast a while ago, and he said that he didn't want people to know what his voice sounded like or something like this, I think. But now that it's got more social, and by social I don't accuse him of being some kind of autistic introvert nerd or whatever. It just means that he's
But he might be.
his social media presence has increased. He now is active on Facebook and I think Twitter and YouTube and whatever else. So you might reconsider. I don't know.
I got the Nashville hot chicken and waffle sandwich.
No idea what that is.
It's a piece of spicy chicken between two waffles as the buns.
Oh yeah, chicken and waffles. I've heard about it.
Wow.
But I want...
Never-
Huh?
No, I just say I heard about chicken and waffles, but it seems like a ludicrous combination, so I never tried it. And
Yeah.
it's only an American thing as far as I know.
Yeah, it's African American soul food is traditionally what it is. But I'm deconstructing it. I'm not really eating it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm not really eating it as a sandwich. I'm like eating the waffle pieces and the chicken separately because I want syrup on the waffle, and you can't really eat a syrupy sandwich. You know.
I bet you can. But yeah,
I don't want
I didn't
to.
know all the details.
You'll see me on video how I'm doing this when you watch this video later.
Yeah, I'm sure. So now
And I'm just eating wings, wicked wings.
Wicked. We don't call them wicked wings here.
Yeah, I had to find that out through the group chat.
They just call
I'm
them
eating
wings.
one right now. We call them hot wings here.
Hot wings.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're very spicy.
What kind of flavor are your wicked wings, Giles?
Yeah, I would say like slightly on the buffalo wing sauce side of flavor, but yeah, spicy as well. I'm obsessed with buffalo sauce, essentially. Buffalo wing
It's
sauce.
a good flavor.
Isn't buffalo sauce made with blue cheese? That's right.
I think people have it with blue cheese, but they don't sell the blue cheese sauce. I can't find it, at least.
Yeah, buffalo is a specific type of hot sauce. It just has a certain flavor to it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Learning so much.
But it tastes good with blue cheese.
Yeah, another
Yeah,
weird
but-
American combination that I'm not too keen to try, but maybe one day. I don't know. You seem so offended. I'm half joking, you know.
Giles loves buffalo sauce. Okay?
Yeah.
He
It sounds
just
good.
likes it a lot. Don't shit on his parade. Don't rain shit diarrhea on his parade. Okay?
Great. Yeah. So buffalo sauce is hot sauce with blue cheese. I'm not sure I get it.
Buffalo sauce is a specific flavor of hot sauce that goes well with blue cheese. So that's why you hear about buffalo and blue cheese together.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Or Giles, do you want to stand up for yourself here?
No, that
I'm
covers
going
it.
to bat for you.
Hell yeah.
I believe in buffalo sauce and blue cheese and buffalo sauce on things with
So
blue
you-
cheese.
Do you know that
You defend buffalo sauce,
Yeah.
but not Kentucky.
it's not
I
even
don't-
made from real buffaloes, so
It's not made from buffaloes at all.
Such
I
bullshit.
don't defend Kentucky. I have nothing good. Or
yeah, you
bad
seem to
say
really
about.
hate. You seem to really hate Kentucky. I've heard so many great things about it. There's this famous British TV presenter who did a tour of America, and he said that Kentucky was the place where he had the most fun in.
I do this documentary where I visited all the states of America, and of course I always go, which is your favorite state? And it's very, very hard to answer. But as it happened, about the best time I had, about 5 days, was in Kentucky. I thought, well, I'll stick to that as my answer. So I said Kentucky, and about 3 months later, I got a letter from the governor of Kentucky with a certificate, and of course with a baseball cap and various other objects, saying that I had been made a colonel in the army of Kentucky. So there you are.
Stephen Fry, right?
Yes, that's him.
Look, I'm from Iowa. Iowa's also in the middle of the country. It's another landlocked state, and everybody forgets about Iowa. People name a national restaurant after Kentucky. You know, they talk about Tennessee. They talk about like Chicago. They talk about all these places are in the middle of the country, and I like Iowa, so I don't understand why Kentucky is so popular. So I'm kind of jealous of Kentucky.
That was the case before, but Slipknot really put you guys on the map.
We don't have a restaurant. We need a restaurant.
Yeah.
We need a world famous Iowa restaurant.
Slipknot restaurant.
What should they cook?
Corn.
The 𝙁𝘄𝙎𝘾𝙃.
Oh, corn. They should just serve corn. Yep.
Iowa corn. Iowa fried corn.
Yep.
You have fried corn, yeah. There's this thing called creamed corn. Is that from where you are? I heard about it, and I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, it's corn with cream in it. Well, actually, I don't know if it's necessarily cream in it or if they just like cream up the corn, like blend it a bit, so there's a bit of corn and a bit of creaminess. But yeah, it's a canned, usually sold as a canned food, and you can combine it with other stuff to make like really nice corn casseroles and such. But I never eat like just creamed corn on its own. It's kind of known as like sort of a disgusting texture when it's by itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know that Colonel Sanders was not born in Kentucky but in Indiana?
Get
Traitor.
out. They don't call
Who's actually from Iowa?
it Indiana fried chicken.
Yeah, he was born in 1890 in Indiana, but when he was 5 years old, his father died, forcing his mother to work at a canning plant. This left. Wow, there's a lot of exotic birds in the background. What's going on?
Oh, my bad.
Summertime in Australia.
Is that your pets?
Yeah. No, I just have birds outside. I guess I can scare them away.
No.
No, you don't have to. It's fine.
They're great.
I thought that maybe it was some kind of old-timey phone ring, ringtone.
Keep them.
No, these are the real thing.
This makes it Christmas extra exotic. We've got tropical birds in the background.
Yeah. So basically, Colonel Sanders had to take care of the family because he was the eldest son. And when he reached 7 years old, his mother taught him how to cook. And then he left the family at the age of 13. And he had a few jobs. And when... Oh, there's a gap here. Because suddenly he's 40 years old. So at 40 years old...
It's like the Bible.
Like Jesus.
Yeah.
Didn't Jesus die at 33?
Yeah, but there's a whole gap in the Bible where we don't know what was going on with him between like age 8 and age 30. We don't know what happened.
He was just chilling, I suppose.
He was streaming on Twitch. Got banned for saying the N-word and then decided to become a prophet.
He was smoking weed and getting laid.
Yeah. All that.
Like most of us.
Those were the good old days.
Most of us in our 20s. Anyway.
Hell yeah.
So at 40 years old, he took over a Shell gas station, and at the gas station, he served some chicken according to a recipe that his mother taught him when he was a child, and also something called country ham, which I have no idea what it is.
Country ham.
Yeah, it's
Country
it's
ham.
a kind of ham, I assume.
It's the ham they have in the country.
Oh, that explains it. So, so then, since he was successful, he purchased the larger filling station on the other side of the road and expanded to 6 tables. So, by 1936, so he was 46 years old, this had proven successful enough for Sanders to be given the honorary title of Kentucky Colonel by Governor Ruby LaFood.
Damn.
In 1937, he expanded his restaurant to 142 seats and added a motel he purchased across the street, naming it Sanders Court and Cafe. Sanders was unhappy with the 35 minutes it took to prepare his chicken in an iron frying pan, but he refused to deep fry the chicken, which he believed lowered the quality of the product. If he pre-cooked the chicken in advance of orders, there was sometimes wastage at a day's end. In 1939, the first commercial pressure cookers were released onto the market, mostly designed for steaming vegetables. Sanders bought one and modified it into a pressure fryer. Wow.
Whoa.
Which he then used to fry chicken. The new method reduced production time to be comparable with deep frying, while, in the opinion of Sanders, retaining the quality of pan-fried chicken. So I'm gonna eat a little and tell you the rest later, I suppose, or you can, pick or talk about anything else. I'm fine either way.
I'm finished with my sandwich and now I'm getting down with some potato wedges that I'm dipping in maple syrup.
Okay.
I've finished my wings.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, the video might reveal me just like destroying them.
You was hungry. You was a
Yeah.
hungry
I
child.
barely started, but okay.
You've
You're
been doing most of the talking, and we've been sitting here like quietly scarfing down.
Well, your turn to talk now.
I'm gonna blow my nose. So I'll be back.
Okay. I'm going to give my fingers a little wash because they're covered in syrup, and I don't like that. So, just a moment, please.
I just gave a thumbs up to the camera, then I realized that you're not seeing my cam feed. So that will be for the people who watch on YouTube and Facebook. This is gonna have so many views on Facebook. I just posted one of my songs on Facebook like 1 hour ago, and it already has like 5,000 views or something like that.
What is
very fucking
5,000
fast.
views?
The song I posted on Facebook 1 hour ago.
Nice.
It's so when I will post this episode on Facebook, it will probably have a lot of views.
Because there's video on
I'm-
it.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
I watched a bit of it.
Oh, a bit. It's 2 minutes 15. Well, yeah, okay.
I got up to where you were showing the links on screen, and I think I shut it off early.
Did you get triggered by the links?
No, my brain just went like, oh, it's over now, I guess.
Okay.
What was your song about?
Not giving a fuck.
Yeah.
Nice. It's good to not give a fuck.
I like the quote, if you make a beast of yourself, you get rid of the burdens of being a man.
Yeah. I don't remember what it's from, but I think it's from some kind of Beat Generation writer.
Yeah.
I forgot the name. I forgot all their names. The Beatniks.
Jack
It's
Kerouac.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe him
Ginsberg.
or another one. Yeah,
Ginsberg.
I mean,
It's at the beginning of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
yes, exactly. That's where I learned it from. Love that movie so much.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a big fan. Yeah.
I fear and loathe it.
Nice. Have you been to Las Vegas?
Yeah, many times. Had some crazy incidences in Las Vegas. Had some crazy
Oh, I thought you said incidents.
incidences. Yeah, I've had crazy incidences in Las Vegas.
Yeah. No, I heard that
Incidences.
as an incident, like an accident, but different. What's the difference between an incident and an accident? I've been asking myself this fucking question for 20 years. Always I look it up and always I forget.
Incident? I mean, an accident is, here. Okay, an incident is an event or an occurrence. So an incident could be anything. It's just like something that happened.
Okay.
Accident is, an unfortunate incident. So an accident is something that happens unexpectedly and unintentionally, typically resulting in damage or injury. So
Oh shit! Sorry.
what?
I was listening to you, the definition of incident accident, but at the same time I was reading something about the traditional Japanese KFC dinner, and KFC does not just sell fried chicken for that dinner, they also sell cake and champagne,
Whoa.
which seems weird. I mean, cake, maybe. Here in France, the only dessert you can get in KFC are like ice creams and maybe some kind of chocolate. Yeah, there's some chocolate cake, but I'm not sure what cake. And I click on the link for the source, and it's a 404 page. So
Oh shit.
yeah,
That's an
we will
incident
never know.
right there.
Right on.
KFC would never sell alcohol in Australia.
Oh yeah! I met an Australian person 1 year ago, and he told me that you have absolutely crazy alcohol laws. You cannot even drink in public places.
Can't even.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah, he told me that because we were having a picnic. He was visiting Paris with a friend, and we were having a picnic with guacamole and chips and beers in the public park, just like you always do. And he was mind blown by the fact that we were just drinking beers in a public park. Apparently, in Australia, it's very, very illegal.
Well, I think there's like some respectable level of it, but as soon as you're like intoxicated or like carrying open containers and stuff in the street, you can be fined for
if
it.
you are like here also it's illegal to be in a case of obvious intoxication, like if you are in a case of manifest drunkenness, and it just not stumbling, but yelling and making a lot of noise and
slurring.
That's the issue. If you're troubling public peace, if you're disturbing the order of the streets, then you can be fined. Not just for being drunk and walking home. But what's this about the open container stuff? I've heard about it, but I never wrapped my head around what the fuck does that mean.
Well, it just if you're carrying a 6-pack home, it's totally different than if you're carrying beers that are cracked open and you're clearly sipping from.
Why?
Well, because you've got this obvious intention to keep drinking it in public.
That's an issue. Apparently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm confused. I'm getting a little confused, but I think I get the gist of it.
Being in the possession of alcohol versus actually consuming alcohol.
What if it's a bottle with a cap with a screw on, and then what?
It depends on how.
I guess they can't.
Huh?
They can't prove anything. I guess
Depends on how big of an ass they want to be. if you're like, there are a lot of states in the U.S. where if you're driving with an open container, and they, you know, they would, like, let's say you already tested positive for alcohol and you had a screw-on cap of like a wine that was partially drunk.
And it was like,
they would additionally charge you with having an open container.
I mean,
for sure.
that makes sense. As I said in my political video that I went a long time ago, the Thinkest vlog, I think it was episode 3. I think that DUIs are not what's the word? The sentences are not strong enough, and it's not taken as seriously as it is. I think driving under the influence is a heinous crime, and it should be repressed. That's the thing. It should be repressed more tougher, much tougher than it is.
It's taken very seriously in Australia.
Good.
It's taken somewhat seriously in the U.S.
Not good enough.
No, people played the card like, well, I'm addicted to alcohol, I can't help it. So they get sentenced to like treatment versus actual punishment.
That's bullshit. If you're addicted to alcohol and you have to get drunk, get a fucking taxi or take a bus like a normal person, or fucking walk.
Well, there's a lot of places that you can't get to without driving there, just the way that like our neighborhoods and cities and infrastructure are all set up. And if you were to take a taxi to and from your destination, it would be cost prohibitive for people to like socialize. So
well, think about that before you start being addicted to alcohol, you dipshit.
Being addicted to alcohol apparently is not a choice. So, you know, that's the whole argument, is that people don't choose to be addicted.
We go out with designated drivers in Australia.
Yeah, same here.
Where like, yeah, you just have like a bunch of friends and one of them's not drinking.
Yep, we do that here too.
Has
yep.
the minimum amount.
We call it the SAM. I'm not sure why.
SAM.
Yeah, I'm not sure why, but there's always one person who is the SAM, and if you're SAM, then you don't drink. And you know, obviously.
How do you decide the SAM?
Obviously, it's a different person every time.
It's the beta of the group.
Somebody points at you and says Sam, and it's like, you're Sam now. You don't get to drink. I'm gonna make out with your girlfriend now.
Nice.
Yeah. So sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's just the Muslim of the group.
The Muslim. Do people have a token Muslim friend for this purpose?
I know some who have. Yes, I know some group of friends who do this.
Wow.
And yeah.
That's
I don't. Personally, I never give a shit about this because personally, I always walk a lot and use public transport. So
you live in Paris
I never have.
too, so there's
that's the point.
Yeah.
That is one of the main reasons why I live here. It's so I don't have to learn how to drive. It's
nice.
Because having a car here is kind of like shooting yourself in the foot. Basically, it's really hard to find a parking space. The fees are expensive. The insurance, the gas, oil, all that shit. It's crazy to have a car here, where you have like bikes available with just with the public transport card. You can take whatever you want: bus, metro, bikes, and whatever else. And it's really. It's really easy to go from point A to point B, walking or using any kind of public transport. Plus, we have a lot of Uber and all that shit. So, yeah, it was one of the biggest reasons that decided me to move to the big city, so I wouldn't have to drive a car.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool. Yeah, where I grew up in Iowa, like, you just would have never been able to go out on like an average person's income if you like wanted to get yourself to and from a party. ever. So there was a lot of drunk driving. I mean, some people did manage to like get a bunch of people together, but everything's so spaced out. It's like most people are coming to the party from like a whole bunch of different directions because it's like so much farmland out there. So yeah,
same where I grew up.
Got an excuse. But I don't drink anymore now, so that makes things easy.
I started again, actually. I don't regret it, but I don't judge you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Where I grew up, it was the same thing. I grew up in a shithole in the asshole of the countryside, between a farm and a whole field of nothing. Mm-hmm. So I know the struggle. That was one of the reasons I didn't really like being isolated like that. I suffered from it, especially when I was a teenager.
Country boy!
So when I was like 17, 18, I was like, not anymore. Mm-hmm. I will not be subjected to this isolation any fucking more. And that's why I'm kind of, in a way, I think I'm addicted to the city. Mm-hmm. I don't think I would ever live again in the countryside. Even I lived in a smaller city in Normandy in 2010, and even that was a little difficult. Even if it had a lot of great things, it was a really nice city, but it was not large enough, I suppose. You know how some people have like anxiety when they're in crowds, like it has a fucking name, phobia,
Agoraphobia.
Yeah, I have the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Claustrophobia.
Yeah, no. No, claustrophobia is the fear of being locked in a small space. No, I feel safer when I'm in a crowd, and when I'm like alone, I feel
agoraphilia.
Probably.
I think that you also call it agoraphobia. Like you like being surrounded by a lot of people and just being in an empty space. I think also. Like, they both get called agoraphobia.
Yeah, I see, yeah.
Yeah. But it's, okay. It's not very rational, though, because sometimes when I'm just alone in my apartment, I have the same feeling. Now that I'm on head meds, I get that way less than before. Like, it's night and day. But sometimes, a long time ago, when I felt really bad, I would just go out in the streets, look at the buildings, think in my head those buildings are full of people, and I would instantly starting to feel better. Mm-hmm. It's weird, but yeah, I feel comfort in crowds. I feel much, much safer the more people there's around me.
That's a happy story. We were talking about alcohol being served at KFC earlier.
Yeah.
And there is a Taco Bell bar here in Austin. It's really close to the university here. It's called the Taco Bell Cantina. And so Taco Bell, KFC, same company. I'm sensing a theme here where they're really trying to let you drink alcohol at their restaurants as often as possible.
Yeah, here it was really more common. A few years ago, I remember, when I was young, you could have beer with your menu in McDonald's, and also it was good beer, not just shitty beer.
Wow.
Every time.
So strange.
Every time I went to McDonald's, I had a beer with my burger, and it stopped. I don't know exactly why, but yeah, it was like maybe 10 years ago it stopped.
Lame.
Something like that. Yeah, fucking lame. I loved just taking a beer with my burger and fries. It just felt natural. You know, I was never a big fan of sugary drinks. Mm-hmm. And yeah. That
We've got a big beer culture in Australia. I enjoy drinking beer, but there's just so many different beers to try.
Yeah.
Ridiculous amount over here.
How can you possibly drink them all?
Yeah, precisely.
We should do that like in Reddit people who do math. We should find out how many types of beers exactly there are, how many breeds or whatever, how many races of beer exist, and calculate if we could drink them all.
Man. Yeah, there's more and more every day. They're constantly, like, beer brands are being created and they're dying daily all over the world.
Yeah.
I think the difficulty would come with trying to source some of the like really weird and obscure breweries in like Victoria and shit.
Yeah. Oh, you're only talking about Australia. I was thinking about the whole world.
Oh man, I reckon there's probably more in Australia than like
more
the rest of the
more
world.
Australian beer per capita than anywhere else.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, there's a lot here in like Texas, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, I believe that.
I still wouldn't put it past Australia, like from what I know of it at all.
I'll look up a statistic of some sort.
Yeah, get back to us. Let us know about it. So what?
Excuse me, but I have an excellent segue that just fits right into that conversation.
Okay,
Because
slide it in.
I just remembered. I just remembered that a few years ago, I did an Advent calendar. I don't know if you have that abroad, but basically it's the first days of December. We have one thing. Usually it's a piece of chocolate that's hidden in a cardboard box.
Yep.
Every day up until Christmas. And I've hated Christmas for a while, and actually it's like more and more as I age. Every year I hate it a little more. But I love alcohol. So a few years ago, I had exactly the same struggle as Giles. There were so many beers, and I didn't know how I would be able to taste all of them. So I bought an advent calendar of beers during the month of November. 24 different beers to test during the whole advent calendar thing, and it was great. I should do it again.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I even noted all my findings in a notebook, like which beer I liked the most, etc. What they tasted like. Ugh. I don't know if I lost it or if I could find it again.
Are you having trouble over there?
I mean, eating and talking at the same time
You're
is not the
hiccuping.
easiest thing in the world. Yep,
I am
hiccuping.
It sounds difficult. What you're going
I've had
through
worse. I've had worse.
over there.
I have had worse.
Yeah.
Believe me, it's not so bad.
Giles, how do you feel about Christmas?
Giles is dead.
Bye, Giles. It's really good.
Yeah,
I
nice.
think you really added a lot to this show.
I will have to find a new Australian now, or maybe someone from a different place.
Different continent.
There's a guy who contacted me recently who was very keen to be host, and he was like half Vietnamese, half Japanese, half American.
Nice.
It was weird.
That's three halves. You can't be three halves in the whole.
Yeah. You know, he was living. I don't remember. He was living in Asia. I don't remember if he lives in Vietnam or Japan. It was one of those. So yeah, and it was this guy from Argentina who had such a great resume, and he was very interested also in the podcast. He seemed like a really cool guy. I'm still, you know, when I started thinking about this new co-hosts thing, it was just at the moment where I was pushing this stupid 5 meme where I would put the number 5 everywhere and call it a meme, and people loved that, and I had a lot of fun. And so at this moment when I that I decided to hire a co-host, so I thought, I thought the 5 meme would like last for ages, just like the very expensive milkshake and whatever else. But it's completely dead and buried now, and nobody remembers it. The only reason I remember it is that I designed a T-shirt for the with a 5, and the moment I published it, the meme had died for a week ago, so I never sold a single one. So of course, I thought about having 5 people. Like I would call the. That's when I had the idea to name the show something Pentagon, the official Pentagon podcast or something like this, and yeah, and I had a whole bullshit that I was thinking like it would be one person from 5 different continents, you know. I mean 5 people from 5 different continents, and it would be a 5 theme, like with the 5 senses and all that shit. I was so dumb. I'm glad I changed my mind, because it was really.
If we all pick senses, I want to be smell.
It was incredibly faggy.
Faggy.
Yeah, exactly. Who was that dude who went in some kind of secret society where the people pissed everywhere, and he said he was the faggiest thing in the world?
I have no idea.
Richard Nixon.
What?
He was a he was a former USA president.
I don't know, but I don't know anything about him pissing and calling something. I know Richard Nixon, of course, but I don't know anything about the rest of the stuff you were talking about. Huh?
He didn't like the pissing. Everyone else was pissing, and he didn't like it. That's why he said it was faggiest place on earth. It was some kind of Illuminati secret society mansion that he was invited because he was a U.S. president, you know, and he hated it. He said he was. I'm gonna find the story. Giles is reborn. I'm hearing.
I didn't die.
Oh yeah.
I had a bathroom emergency. That's all.
And you didn't announce that you were going potty?
Well, Nelson was telling a story, and I didn't want to interrupt.
Okay.
When he said a bathroom emergency, I assume he made himself puke so he could eat more chicken. That's not.
Why not?
Something went right
That's
through
what
me.
people do.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna ask you, Giles, how do you feel about Christmas?
So, I never have disposable income as a general rule, and but not intentionally. It just happens to be that way.
You're poor.
Yet my family do the passive pressure to buy gifts for everyone. And one year, probably 3 or 4 years ago, I just said to them, I'm like, I only just scrape by generally. If no one buys me a present, is it alright that I buy no one else a present? Can we just I'll still come along, I'll still go to the family dinner family lunch thing.
Dude,
just
you're an
don't
artist.
guilt me into
Why
buying
don't you draw them
presents.
something?
Because I'd have to draw 5 or 6 individual art pieces, and that would take forever for me.
Start in June.
They're not worth it to him, Nelson. He doesn't.
Sorry for interrupting for a dumb joke.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
I have thought that.
He doesn't love his family that much. Let's just leave him alone about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I need all my art pieces to make some sort of money or something, or else I'm just wasting my time.
Where it is saving you money because you don't have to buy gifts.
Yeah, but I don't have to give him anything too.
I mean, sure.
Do you know what I do to get around not having money for gifts? I go to the
Steal.
No, I go to the dollar store.
You go to the job store and find a job.
I have a
Goddamn
job.
lazy
I
piece of
just
shit.
don't like jobs. I don't like jobs
kidding.
I don't like jobs that make money because they're stressful. Anyway,
Same.
yeah. So
Same.
I what I do is I go to the dollar store and I just get enough creative items there that I give people a $1 gift bag full of $1 items that are like a just like assortment of things that I feel kind of reflect their personality and are kind of silly. So I just give people like $10 worth of gag gifts or less.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how I create a lot of joy for very little money, and people don't even think about the fact that I'm a cheapskate.
Yeah.
It's pretty effective.
Yeah, that would work. My problem is like so much money is spent on like cheap plastic like junk. And sometimes my family would buy me something really cheap and like I wouldn't have any use for it. And I did that. I think that's part of why I asked them all to stop buying me stuff, because they'd buy me like some novelty item that I would just end up throwing out, or just it would just be this like sore like eyesore or just like awkward object that's in my room all the
gift
time.
cards were made for. But
Yes.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I remember when I was my ex-girlfriend a few years ago, their grandparents gifted us some really fucking ugly coffee mugs for Christmas. At least it's a coffee mug, it's useful. But damn, they were really ugly. And we kept them for like a couple of years. It became a running joke between us, and we were always like wondered what we were gonna do with them. And just someday we were like doing a deep cleaning of the house to just throw him in the garbage and never thought of it again. But yeah, at
Thank
some
God.
point I thought I could maybe use them to do some rat house thing. I'm gonna leave right now for 30 seconds. Just need to get myself a drink. I'll be back in less than a minute. Don't worry.
Okay, we don't
Hell yeah.
worry. Okay, Giles.
So,
what do you want to say
what-
about him now that he's gone?
Well, he's a crazy character.
He makes really good noises.
Yeah.
How long have you been like hanging out with him on the internet?
I would say not really. We haven't really been hanging out. The only time like I've spoken with him in person was during the game show episode of Mohi Talk.
But you've been doing his art for a while.
I listened to it.
You know, I feel like
Yeah.
you guys go way back.
And that was like 15 or something. I was just following a lot of different meme pages on Facebook, and I just noticed that his cast a wider net. It seemed like he was keeping track of far more trends than other pages, and so there was more variation. But also, like, he was jumping onto some trends before they got big everywhere else too. So I just noticed there was like a freshness to his page, and I just decided to do a little fan drawing thing. Yeah. And I think, and then he used that as his profile picture at one point, and I was just really flattered by that. And then he asked me to do an actual proper commissioned profile picture after that. Yeah.
Nelson, you back?
Yeah, I paid $50 for that, and it was worth every single penny.
Yeah.
Cheers. Cheers.
I really, myself was flattered by the fact that you did fan art. It's something that happens quite rarely, actually. You would think that it happens more often, but it's really, really rare. And for some reason, it's rarer now. Like when I was starting the page, like in late 2015, early 2016, I was getting a lot of fan arts and all tidbits and all that, and it happens way less often now. I'm
Damn.
not sure why, but of course I was super flattered that you did actually art based on my logo that I thought was hilarious. I mean, a fish with "boom" written on it and he's exploding.
Yeah.
When I made that in paint, it took me almost 5 minutes, and it made me. I kept looking at it for a week, and it made me laugh every time I looked at it. I thought, yeah. I'm not always proud of myself, my what I do, but when I am, I like to propagate that to the widest number, and it's great that I have such a wide audience now, because I have so many things to share, and more as time goes on. You want chicken, you fucking stupid bitch?
Are you talking to the rat?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he looks at the chicken, but when I hand him a piece, he doesn't seem interested.
You're really like verbally
Yeah.
abusive to your rats.
Yeah, it's
I would be. It'd be fun as hell.
it's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
It's not only fun, it's also some kind of coping mechanism, because while they bring me a lot of joy on a daily basis, it's also a little stressful and tiring to have rats, especially something I hate is cleaning the cage, and you have to clean the cage so often, and it's just as retaliation for having to clean their cage. I like to insult them. They don't understand. They are not even able to hear my voice because it's below their hearing range. It's infrasounds to them, so they just feel the vibrations. They're not. But I can feel him vibrating right now, and when a rat is vibrating, that means nap time. I'm about to fall asleep. So, or sometimes it can also mean I just woke up and I'm still half asleep. So that's probably why he does not want to eat, because he's falling asleep right now. So I found, by the way, the Faggy Nixon thing.
Tell us more about Nixon's thing about fagginess with the Illuminati.
The Bohemians Club is an all-male membership that includes artists and musicians, as well as many prominent business leaders, government officials, former US presidents, senior media executives, and people of power. Members may invite guests to the Grove. Guests may be invited to the Grove for either the Spring Jinx in June or the main July encampment. Bohemian Club members can schedule private day-use events at the Grove anytime it is not being used for club-wide purposes, and they are allowed at these times to bring spouses, family, and friends, although female and minor guests must be off the property by 9 p.m.
Wow.
So, yeah, after 40...
Excuse
me, go ahead.
I've heard of the Bohemian Grove. I think it's something that Alex Jones talks about a lot. He says that's where like the like sacrifice rituals and stuff go down with the wealthy. That's what he says. And if that's where they go to piss and shit on each other, it's like it makes sense.
Oh no, they don't have toilets, so they piss on the floor. That's what Nixon said.
Yeah, that's weird.
Apparently, it stinks, which is expected. So.
Is it outdoors?
It's a grove, so I assume it's some. Yeah, there's a picture. There's trees and shit. It's outdoors.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a bit better. I was expecting the inside of a mansion and they're just pissing in the corners and stuff.
I think there's both. I'm not sure.
Damn. Rich people are weird.
Yeah. The club motto is "Weaving spiders, come not here," which implies that outside concerns and business deals are to be left outside. When gathered in groups, Bohemians usually adhere to the injunction, although discussion of business often occurs between pairs of members. Important political and business deals have been developed at the Grove. The Grove is particularly famous for a Manhattan Project planning meeting that took place there in September of 1942, which subsequently led to the atomic bomb. Okay, so they just dropped here at the corner of a sentence, but yeah, it's the atomic bomb was very here. Those attending this meeting included Ernest Lawrence, no idea who that is, J. Robert Oppenheimer, not sure who that is either, the S...
That's the nuke guy, Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah, I knew that name kind of rang a bell. The S1 Executive Committee, such as the presidents of Harvard, Yale, and Princeton, along with representatives of Standard Oil and General Electric, as well as various military officials. At the time, Oppenheimer was not an S1 member, although Lawrence and Oppenheimer hosted the meeting. Grove members take particular pride in this event and often relate the story to new attendees. Other behavior at the campground has led to numerous claims and even some parody in popular culture. One example was former President Richard Nixon's comments from a May 13, 1971 recording that said, "The Bohemian Grove, which I attend from time to time, it is the most faggy goddamn thing you could ever imagine." And there's like 15 different sources that are linked after the sentence.
It's faggy, according to Nixon.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Sounds faggy.
I don't even...
It's a bunch of dudes having a sausage fest.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't even remember...
Do you know the Skull and Bones?
Yeah. Wasn't that the...
That's another weird thing.
Wasn't that the reason why that started the "Don't Tase Me Bro" meme?
I don't know.
You're probably too young to remember. Lisa, you may remember the "Don't Tase Me Bro" meme from 10, 12 years ago. Early meme.
I don't know. Isn't the Skull and Bones like a fraternity at Princeton or something?
Yale.
Yale, yeah.
I think it's
Well,
Yale, yeah.
That would make sense. I don't know.
So,
I think.
It's weird as hell,
Found
though.
it.
They're like...
Oh.
The University of Florida taser incident was an incident in which a University of Florida student was stunned with a taser at a forum featuring the then U.S. Senator John Kerry. On September 17, 2007, Kerry addressed a Constitution Day forum at the University of Florida campus in Gainesville, which was organized by the ACCENT Speakers Bureau, an agency of the university's student government. Andrew Mayer, a 21-year-old fourth-year undergraduate mass communication student, had initially been allowed to ask a question after the close of the question period. He asked Kerry whether he was a member of Skull and Bones Society. Mayer was forcibly pulled away from the microphone. He was immediately restrained and forcibly removed, and was subsequently arrested by university police. During his arrest, Mayer struggled and screamed for help. While 6 officers held Mayer down, one of the officers drive-stunned him with a taser. Following Meyer's shouted plea to police, "Don't tase me, bro!" Several videos of the episode were posted on the web, with one version reaching 7 million views on YouTube. The new Oxford American Dictionary listed tase as one of the words of the year for 2007, popularized by the widespread use of the phrase. Meyer registered the phrase "Don't tase me, bro" as a trademark in September 2007.
Damn.
So,
Pretty hardcore.
One of the early memes from the era where the word meme was not even passed around that much. And, one of the first big memes of the internet from 12 years ago. Remember it quite well.
Just over asking Karen if he was a member of Skull and Bones?
Yep.
That's weird. I thought it was just a regular fraternity that people got, like, all paranoid about, but that kind of suggests that there's something to hide.
Yeah.
Well, they do weird stuff. Like, part of the initiation, apparently, is you have to lie down in a coffin, like a glass coffin, naked.
Yeah.
And then I've heard that a bunch of guys or a bunch of other members, like, surround the glass coffin and they masturbate and then ejaculate onto it.
Yeah, so?
Yeah.
It's normal. It's,
yeah,
it's normal boyhood fun to me.
So
I don't get it.
that's
I
a
don't see
little
what the big deal
faggier.
is.
That's a little faggier than pissing in the woods, if you ask me. But
It's way faggier. That's, like, definitely faggier.
Skull and Bones,
Ejaculating
definitely faggier.
on a man when you are a man is, by definition, faggy.
The skull
The
and
Skull
bones.
and Bones, definitely faggier. You heard it here first on Aneurysm.
Although
The
we
podcast formerly-
don't know what all happens at the Bohemian Club.
Yeah, I trust.
Apart from there being no
The,
toilets.
the
I trust
pissing might
the
just be
word-
the start of it.
I trust the word of that Nixon character. He seems trustworthy.
Yeah.
He seems like a straight up fella. Also, he was hilarious.
Bohemian
I
gay.
loved him in Futurama. He was really great in that show. So,
Faggy gate.
So we're officially aneurysm now, huh?
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean by officially?
Oh, it's just like we're aneurysm. That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what we're
I suppose.
doing. We're having an aneurysm here. Our brains are bleeding.
Ear aneurysm. You know, aneurysm is
Aneurysm.
not. Aneurysm can happen in any part of the. I think that that's how House MD lost his leg, because of a leg aneurysm, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, see, if we're going to be called aneurysm now, I kind of want to take a moment to understand exactly what an aneurysm is.
Sure, I mean, you could Google it and.
Oh,
look
it's
it
like,
up.
I've
But
heard of brain aneurysms, but
Yeah,
here.
we could make up a definition as well.
I
The
need
reason
I need to learn how to spell aneurysm.
the reason why I chose
Aneurysm.
yeah, just just want to say for the people listening that the reason I choose the name aneurysm is that while I was hard at thought trying to figure out a new name for the show, I was at the same time listening to the live recording for Nirvana that just was released this year. Pretty excellent live recording, possibly the best Nirvana live concert recording I've ever heard. And I was at
Cool.
I was at that moment listening to the song Aneurysm, and if there's a line in Aneurysm where Kurt is bellowing, "Come on over and shoot the shit, yeah!" And just at the moment I was thinking about a new name, he let out that line, and I was like, okay, that's it. It's Aneurysm now.
And we were
It was
like,
kind of a-
praise
Well, Kurt
Jesus.
Cobain gave it to you.
Yeah, praise Kurt Cobain.
Praise Kurt Cobain, Jesus.
Same. There's the
Kurt Cobain can do no wrong.
yeah.
That's a really good American Southern. Thank you. I can't do either of y'all's accents.
I mean, me neither. I shit at accents.
G'day.
G'day, mate.
Oh, not bad, not
Crikey.
bad.
Okay.
Dingo ate my baby.
We take that very seriously.
Y'all got a lot of dingoes eating your babies down there.
If you're gonna go on holiday, don't bring your
It's a
baby.
goddamn tragedy. Dingoes eating babies down there. Shooey.
Oh man.
I'm having camera issues trying to fix this shit. Oh, sorry, I meant I am having camera issues. I'm trying to fix this. Not very difficult.
You just got extra French from over there. That's so weird.
Wasn't that the point of the exercise?
Yeah, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah,
I'm really embarrassed to try to do Nelson's accent in front of Nelson. I have privately imitated you to my boss before.
Oh shit!
It's only because you weren't listening. Yeah.
Yeah. You're much more comfortable criticizing people behind their backs.
It's
Just
not
like
criticizing.
Just like George Costanza. You have so
It's
much in common.
not criticizing. It's appreciating. Because you're not there in the room, so I have, like, if I'm cooking food and I want to, like, you know, share like a cool incident from our recordings, I have to mimic your voice to make the story come alive.
Oh shit!
What?
Something just occurred to me.
Huh.
Excuse me, I have an issue with an insect that is running on my desk. I gotta take care of this.
Okay.
Die!
I'm glad
God.
a video of whatever's going on over there.
So yeah, something just occurred to me. I have no fucking idea. Because
Wait, that's different from the thing that just happened.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in Paris tonight.
I got distracted by an insect, but what I was gonna say was that I was thinking about, there was like a clash of thoughts in my brain, because the phrase "the dingo ate your baby" was first featured on American television in the TV show Seinfeld. As you probably already know, when the phrase started being famous. Seinfeld, I think it was in 1995. It's pronounced by it's said by the character 𝙁𝘼𝑘𝑙𝖆𝑏.
Maybe the dingo ate your baby.
And later, it was prominently featured in the TV show Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where the name of the local band is Dingoes Ate My Baby or something like this.
Jesus.
And I never realized that they chose this name because the leader of the band is named Daniel Osborne, but he's nicknamed by everyone Oz, which is also a nickname for Australia, which is probably why they named the band like this. It just occurred to me right now.
That's neat. Are dingoes, like, really aggressive, and do they eat babies?
So it all comes from this one particular time when a dingo did actually kill this woman's child. The thing is, the reason it's such a famous case is because the forensics team accused her of fabricating it, and they wanted to charge her with killing her own baby and then pretending that a dingo had eaten it. I forget what happened. There was like appeals that happened in court. They like re-reviewed the case. Turns out that it did actually happen, and that they'd put this woman through all of this like extra grief by accusing her of having killed it herself. Yeah. So, but yeah, during interviews, she would say, like, she did get distressed and say, "A dingo ate my baby," and stuff like that. So it's like, it's really sad.
Poor lady. Gosh, it just must really add insult to injury that the rest of the world is
Naming
like,
yeah, for
practicing
sure.
their Australian accents by saying, "A dingo ate my baby."
Yeah.
What?
The baby got eaten in 1980, and the woman was acquitted in 2012.
Oh my god.
That's an update that I haven't heard.
So, 𝙁𝘼𝑘𝑙𝖆𝑏 Chamberlain Born 11 June 1980, died 17 August 1980, was an Australian 2-month-old baby girl who was killed by a dingo on the night of 17th August of 1980 on a family camping trip to Uluru, also known as Ayers Rock, in the Northern Territory. Her body was never found. Her parents, Lindy and Michael Chamberlain, reported that she had been taken from their tent by a dingo. Lindy Chamberlain was, however, tried for murder and spent more than 3 years in prison.
Oh my god, I didn't realize it was 3 years.
She was released when a piece of 𝙈𝘖𝙎𝑃𝑒𝑐𝑒 found was found near a dingo lair, and new inquests were opened. In 2012, 30 years after 𝙈𝘖𝙎𝑃𝑒𝑐𝑒's death, the Chamberlain's version of events was officially supported by a coroner.
That's crazy. I didn't realize it was still going until 2012.
Yeah, there's been...
Don't fucking go camping in Australia. Shit.
Yeah, an initial inquest held in Alice Springs supported the parents' claim and was highly critical of the police investigation. The findings of the inquest were broadcast live on television, a first in Australia. Subsequently, after a further investigation and a second inquest held in Darwin, Lindy Chamberlain was tried for murder, convicted on 29 October 1982, and sentenced to life imprisonment. 𝙈𝘖𝙎𝑃𝑒𝑐𝑒's father, Michael Chamberlain, was convicted as an accessory after the fact and given a suspended sentence. The media focus for the trial was unusually, it's a hard to pronounce word.
Unusually?
Yes, intense, and aroused accusations of sensationalism, while the trial itself was criticized for being unprofessional and biased. The Chamberlains made several unsuccessful appeals, including the final High Court appeal. This was one of the biggest and most misunderstood cases in Australian history. After all legal options had been exhausted, the chance discovery in 1986 of a piece of 𝙈𝘖𝙎𝑃𝑒𝑐𝑒's clothing in an area with numerous dingo lairs led to Lindy Chamberlain's release from prison. On 15 September 1988, the Northern Territory Court of Criminal Appeals unanimously overturned all convictions against Lindy and Michael Chamberlain. A third inquest was conducted in 1995, which resulted in an open finding. At a fourth inquest held on the 12th June 2012, Coroner Elizabeth Morris delivered her findings that 𝙈𝘖𝙎𝑃𝑒𝑐𝑒 Chamberlain had been taken and killed by a dingo. After being released, Lindy Chamberlain was paid $1.3 million for false imprisonment, and an amended death certificate was issued. That's about it. After all this
crazy.
Boring details. Yeah.
Losing your child and then being sentenced to life in prison for killing it yourself. That's absolutely insane.
Dude, I feel really bad for this Lindy Chamberlain gal.
Yeah.
And that's who they're making fun of every time they say, "Dingo ate my baby."
Oh my god, I can't ever say it again. I feel so sad.
The fact that nobody knows the actual story is probably why so many people make fun of it. But for a really long time she was believed to be a murderer, and that's why people started make fun of her. And the third inquest was conducted in 1995, resulting in an open finding. 1995 is probably the time where it started being tossed around as a phrase. I'm pretty sure the Seinfeld episode, which prominently featured that the expression, was from 1995.
Yeah, but Elaine's a terrible person, so it makes sense why she would do that. I'm gonna get up for a minute, but I'll be back soon. You guys keep carrying on.
It was also referenced in the Simpsons Bart versus Australia.
Easy peasy.
He was also referenced in the Rugrats movie.
Hell yeah, which one?
It's called the Rugrats movie.
Oh yeah.
1998. After the children go missing, a news reporter briefly asks if it was true that a dingo ate her baby. Also in the Office, but yeah, most prominently in Seinfeld and Buffy. It was the one big meme of the 90s apparently.
It's so cold too, but I guess that's like mimetic humor doesn't really have like an empathy to it, really.
What?
Just
What?
like there's a lot of memes that don't really like have empathy to them. They're like,
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I think. I remember. It was. In March, shortly after the Christchurch massacre in New Zealand, I started posting meme about it, and people didn't like that. I lost 3,000 followers in a few hours. Biggest follower bleed of my entire internet career.
It's, I reckon the only like hypocrisy of that is that like they were just sad about it at that moment, but everything else, there's like eventually they wouldn't be that emotionally affected and they would just laugh at it, but like it's too soon or something. That's what some people do. It's too soon.
It's weird. Although there's when it's something that happens by accident, people are much more understanding of being humor and all. I think because it was a crime and not just like a gas leak or something like this, people are much more sensitive about things like the Holocaust or 9/11. I mean, the Holocaust was like 100 years ago, so people are starting to be really chill about it. But 9/11,
my
almost, and 9/11 is still kind of iffy. But you can joke about the Titanic. People don't give a shit. Although Titanic was in 1913, but there was like I think it was in Burger King, maybe it wasn't KFC, where they made some kind of bouncy castle in the shape of the Titanic.
Nice.
Some people thought it was in bad taste, but some people thought it was more than 100 years ago. Who gives a shit anymore?
Yeah.
So.
I don't know, the Holocaust feels kind of close to home for me because, like, I have family members that, like, were nearly killed in it. Like, it still weighs pretty... Like, we get together for the holiday and Passover every year, and, like, it comes up, and people get really sad and, like, cry because, like, of all their extended family members who perished. Yeah, like, my grandma's still around, and, like, her... like, aunts, uncles, cousins, like, everybody got killed. And on my, like, my other relatives also have, like, their parents who were, like, affected. And so, yeah, it's, like, still very sad for us.
That is mental. You guys have a special holiday to cry about shit. That's the most Jewish thing I've heard in my life.
It's Passover. Passover is about when our like ancestors in biblical times were enslaved in Egypt and like how we came out of Egypt. So it's not about the Holocaust, but the Holocaust comes up as kind of a connected theme with that.
So it's like reverse Thanksgiving. Instead of being thankful, or you know what it is like? We were talking about Seinfeld. It's exactly like Festivus with the airing of grievances.
I don't know. That's kind of a weird way to try to like sum it up that way. It is about gratitude because like it's like about what we've survived. As a people, like. People have tried to, like, kill off and exterminate Jews for, like, many, many different incidences over the generations.
So it's like a pride march, but, like, just...
No, it's just kind of, you know, somber remembrance of like what our ancestors have been through and like gratitude for the liberties that we have today.
Cool. Like a wake.
Yeah, kind of like that. Sort of like a mass remembrance for like, you know, past suffering, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So Holocaust is still pretty live in my world as a thing.
Once a year, Australians sort of get together and they celebrate dingoes eating babies with cakes and champagne.
God damn it.
I mean, I would assume it would have been with beer and fried kangaroo or. You know, I remember.
You can eat kangaroo. It's good.
Yeah, I tried it once. It was pretty nice. I remember about 10 years ago, I read a book that was written by an Australian person and set in Australia. And it was like very Australian. And basically it was a story of some teacher who was from Sydney and he had been appointed in a shithole in the countryside, like in the bush or whatever. And he had to adapt from city culture to countryside culture. And basically the 3/4 of the book was spent either drinking beer or hunting kangaroos.
Yeah.
And so that was my first real connection with the Australian culture. Basically everyone was drunk all the time. And there was some kangaroo hijinks, whatever that's pronounced.
You can say
I reckon the hunt.
Wake up.
Yeah, I
wake
remember.
up.
I remember. Actually, the first time I met a fan from the page, I was it was a long time ago, and that guy was, well, actually, it's very funny because he was Jewish and from Texas.
Just like
Michael
me.
Michael Rosenberg, I think he was his name, and he visited Paris, and so we met. I was still deep into the exploding fish thing at that time. I think it was in June 2016. I'm not sure, but I can probably find it easy. And Michael Rosenthal, I remember now. And yeah, that dude was a computer programmer from Texas, and he was doing a tour of Europe for leisure as well as business reasons. And that's when we had some kind of not a debate, but he informed me that some people in America pronounce genuine and some pronounce genuine, and it's kind of a hot button debate. And he told me that the preferred pronunciation was genuine.
Yeah,
because
I'm a genuine.
Before that, I always say genuine because that's how they say in the rap music songs, and that's where I learned.
Genuine is the
That's
name
where
of the
I
guy
learned
who
the
did the pony
word.
song.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Totally.
that was supposed to be a play on words. Wasn't supposed to be a pronunciation of genuine.
A play on words with what? Wine? Because it's an alcoholic?
Well, just gin. Let's see, how does he pronounce it? It's kind of weird, but you know, just that. You know, it's like a mispronunciation of genuine, and it's pronounced.
It's not a play. It's not a play on word. Then it's just some guy pronouncing bad just for
Gin,
the sake of it.
gin, wine. So it's gin, the alcohol, you.
Oh, gin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, get it now.
And then wine.
Gin.
So.
God damn, I hate gin. D, you bitch.
Yeah. What would you call that? when you misspell something and you turn it into a pun that's not meant to be funny.
A mistake?
An incident. It's called an incident.
A blunder.
Yeah.
A blunder. I think the blunder is the actual term.
It's a musical incident.
It's yeah, that guy just fucked up. It's just like it's just like the fucking Clifford the Big Red Dog. He was mistakenly drawn too big. That's not a characterization, that's an error. That the artist fucked up. The dog is not supposed to be this big. You just drew him big. You made a mistake.
The song's stuck in my head now.
What song?
The pony song.
Bill.
Oh! Yeah.
I'm just a writer looking for a partner. Someone who knows how to ride. Yep.
I've got Channing Tatum with his shirt off, just like doing the worm across the stage in my mind now. He's like abs and stuff.
Are we all having gay thoughts right now?
Yeah. Well, not you.
Yes.
Yes! I don't get to be gay. I don't have to be gay if I don't want to be.
We're having faggy thoughts.
Wait, let's talk more about Christmas, though.
Yeah.
True.
What about it? What about it?
I don't know, this is our Christmas episode.
I guess we should say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, I suppose. Because I don't know when the episode will be released. Yeah, but since we're filming, it will be really easy to edit. Welcome, everyone, to the middle of the video. I've been editing this shit all day for 3 days now, and I just want to say I was wrong. We won't be able to cut as much shit as we usually do, but we haven't said anything wrong so far, or anything too personal, so it's fine. What? I was shit. Yeah, I was gonna say something about Christmas. Yeah, one thing I really hate about Christmas is the fucking songs. And for a long time, it was not so bad because the French Christmas songs are not quite as bad as the US one. But since there's been a huge Americanization of our culture during the past 10 years.
Cultural imperialism.
You're welcome.
Yeah. We're suffering a lot from it since it really started in 2007. We had a president who was a big fan of the USA. He had a big heart for the US, just like all the boomers. As I explained in earlier episodes, all the boomers here are big fans of American stuff, and then
weird.
They all buy Harley Davidson shit and drink Jack Daniels and all that, and they listen to country music, etc. And of course they eat ketchup. So
the worst part.
Yeah, it's
What's wrong with ketchup? What y'all got against ketchup?
Well, actually, ketchup
I'm more of a Buffalo man myself.
Ketchup is originally from China, so different. But ketchup was banned in French school kitchens for a long time because the authorities thought it was too garbage for the kids, and
exactly.
They saw it as a literally a gateway to junk food, so that's why the children weren't allowed to eat it.
A gateway to crack cocaine.
I guess crack cocaine
Ketchup
was never
is the
popular
gateway
here.
drug.
Crack cocaine was never popular here, and it's really hard to find. It's like one of these drugs that is typically American, like black tar heroin, which you cannot find it here. I mean, you can, but It's hard.
Crack is only regular cocaine that's been cooked up with baking soda. So if you have baking soda and you have cocaine, you technically have crack cocaine that's just waiting to be put together.
Yeah, baking soda is also not very common here. I remember a few years ago I wanted to clean something using baking soda and vinegar, doing the foam thing. And I had quite a hard time finding baking soda. I had to go to several supermarkets before I found a box.
It's because they know you could make
So,
crack with it. Which you're going to want
Really-
if you eat ketchup.
Exactly. That's it.
You're welcome.
So, yeah. You want ketchup, bitch? He doesn't seem to be interested in any food at the moment. Cocaine is really, really easy to find here, though. It's ubiquitous.
It's easier
Everyone
to find
does
than
cocaine.
baking soda, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to France sometime soon.
yeah, don't hesitate.
Nice.
Dude, we could swap. I mean, no, that would be stupid because it would be pretty cool to meet, I suppose. But,
But no,
Yeah.
swapping's a cool idea.
yeah, I wanted to go to Australia for a long time. A lot of things, not a lot of things, but one specific thing really is attractive to me is the climate.
Which
the
time
big
of year?
drawback all year round. The big drawback of Paris is the weather. It's
Perfect.
It's really not. It's really nice in the summer, but in the winter it's really cold. I hate it.
When does it
Uh,
rain
yeah.
the most?
Oh, Paris is not a very rainy place.
Oh,
Much more rain, and in here, it's not that often that it rains. So I wouldn't be able. Oh yeah, I'm stupid. Of course, the rain from March to May, it rains a lot.
that's
I-
when I'd go.
April is probably the worst.
You want to go see rain somewhere?
I find rain to just be like I really like rain, and I reckon Paris would be like particularly beautiful while it's raining.
Yeah. Does it rain much in Victoria, or like do you just want to go anywhere when it's raining?
It doesn't rain enough anymore. There's like just lots of drought in Australia at the moment. It's like ridiculous.
Wildfires, dead koalas.
Oh my god, yeah. This bushfire has released like half the entire year's amount of carbon dioxide within just like a couple months. So yeah, if CO2 is destroying the planet, then we're like upping our levels. We're
No,
trying to catch up with the rest of the world.
It's much more complex than that, and CO2 is not the worst offender.
Oh yeah.
Especially since there are what is called carbon sinks, is that there's a lot of forests that absorb CO2. So it's more important. But yeah. Because of the Amazon fire of lately, that was worse than expected. That might be a problem. Because trees absorb CO2. So when trees burn, the problem gets compounded by itself. It's a vicious circle. That's.
But yeah, I didn't mean to go off on that tangent, but
Yeah, you were talking about rain, and it doesn't rain quite often in here. We have a lot of what we call gray weather. I think you guys say cloudy. So when there's
like
a lot
overcast.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's the word. I always forget the word.
That's my favorite too. Overcast.
So that's quite often here. That's quite often. That's basically from August to spring.
Cool.
Yeah, there are a lot of overcast weather. It's a little weird, the weather here, because we always have a lot of hot days during the end of the winter, the beginning of spring. It's super weird. It's suddenly we have a lot of hot days, and it lasts for like a week, and then it's cold again. That always weirded me out. It has been the case since I lived here. I assume it has been the case for a long time. But yeah, sometimes it's in February, sometimes it's in March. The weather comes from really cold to really hot unexpectedly, and after 10 days it's gone, and you gotta wait until like June to see the sun again. But yeah. The weather in Australia seems really nice, and I had a friend who moved to a place called Sunny Coast or something like that.
Yeah, Sunshine Coast.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. And he told me so much good stuff about it. Apparently, everything there is awesome, except food taxes are really high, and that's weird. But apart from that, it seems to be really, really nice.
Yeah, I think that's up in Queensland, so I'm like not that
Yeah.
well versed with the old Sunshine Coast. Do you still get the romantic vibe living in Paris?
Romantic?
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of people consider Paris to be a romantic city.
Really?
Yeah, the most romantic place on earth.
Why?
We've never been there. We don't know why.
I mean, it's a city. It's full of gray buildings, and it's a fucking city. Why would it be romantic? It's made of concrete.
As aren't like a lot of buildings though from like an older period.
That's true. That is fair, especially in the center of the city. The closer you get to the center, the older the buildings are, as a general rule.
Like
I personally live in actually a quite old building, so it was made from stone, like the majority of the buildings.
Cool.
yeah, see, like in the U.S. and in Australia, we really romanticize pretty much anywhere in Europe because like we're newer
young.
societies,
Yeah.
newer construction. So all of our
yeah.
stuff just looks very cheap and efficient, and so we really think fondly of places where the architecture is pretty. So we
The
see pictures
architecture
of
is
Paris,
pretty.
and the
That's fair.
architecture looks pretty. to
I
us.
didn't know that the architecture is nice. I didn't know that architecture was romantic. I always figured it most as a mathematics thing with all the angles and you know. But it looks pretty neat. Yeah. The buildings look kind of cool. I admit it.
I mean, like, imagine being in a place where literally every single thing is perfectly square and featureless. And then contrasting that to Paris. Like, no decoration, no inset stone decoration on anything. Like, everything's just like a blank square.
Or Art Nouveau.
Yeah.
I mean,
Art Nouveau is so cool.
yeah, it is. But yeah. It's I think that I've lived in places like especially in the south where there is much more decoration and the buildings are older and it's really you can really feel those middle-aged vibes. In Paris it's much more modern. It's much more industrial era. You know, a large chunk of it was built actually during the Industrial Revolution at the end of the 19th century. So compared to the places I've lived in the past with a lot of castles and shit, and it's not the same. It's more almost like Charlie Chaplin modern times. It's not exactly made from boring squares, but it's not exactly Rococo or.
Rococo is cool as well.
Yeah, it is. There's a few Gothic buildings. I hate Gothic so much. The only time I liked it is in Anor Londo and Dark Souls, which I thought they had made it look good somehow. But when people were like crying about Notre Dame. I was like, but that building looks like shit anyway. Why are you people? I like from of all the monuments, it's probably one that I like the least. Yeah, because Gothic architecture I think looks absolute garbage, full of these little things, absolutely ridiculous. I think it's cool.
Gargoyles.
Yeah, gargoyles are the only cool aspects about it.
Yeah, they're pretty damn cool.
But yeah, all the spires and all that shit, it looks.
Yeah, it's a little wanky.
It looks grotesque.
Is it faggy?
It's faggy.
Exactly. Yeah, very, very much so. So yeah, I didn't get quite the shock. Yeah, it was funny. It was a weird story because people were like, yeah, and then of course I posted a lot of memes and people were like, yeah, you're doing the Christchurch thing again, and I was like, shut the fuck up. First, I was there an hour ago. It's an accident. The church is empty, no victim, and it's just a stupid fucking pile of wood that's burning. Shut the fuck up, let me meme in peace.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's,
Preach.
After that, there was also an outcry after a lot of billionaires pledged to donate money to the rebuild of the cathedral, which is weird because it was already being, not rebuilt, but I don't know how you say in English when you clean a thing and make it more solid.
Renovations.
Renovate?
That's it. It's actually the same word in French. Funny.
Renovate.
Close enough.
Renovate.
Oui.
Renovate.
Rénovation.
Renovation.
Yeah, that's
Renovation.
I suppose that means upheaval or something like this, but it's
Renovation. I'm gesturing the French way.
Huh.
Sorry.
That's odd.
I'm really embarrassed now. I'm kind of out of it. I normally get a nap when I come home from work, and I just went Christmas shopping instead.
Yeah, sorry, I was distracted by a rat. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, the cathedral. It was already
The
being,
renovation.
Exactly. That's why it caught fire. By the way, it's one of the workers who forgot to turn off his whatever the machine.
His thing.
No, it's the
drill.
It's
or
the
whatever.
collapse of Western society by immigration, bro.
Was he an immigrant?
No.
Probably.
He probably was. People
Maybe.
People who do work here usually are immigrants. There's not a lot of a lot of people who do like shit with the drills and the noisy shit, like once again I don't know the English word, but when you do the thing,
The jackhammers.
yeah, all that shit. It's usually foreigners.
The bingers, the bangers, the boppers, the bammers.
I'm gonna look the word on the dictionary, so that I will.
I think in the UK they call it a pneumatic drill. The jackhammer.
Okay, so
in the US it's the jackhammer.
Pneumatique. Drill.
Whoa! You no.
What environment's getting into now? God
works.
damn it! If I told him once, I told him 1,000 times. I can't hear me, but I keep telling these damn varmints they better best behave, or I'm gonna turn them into rat skin coats.
Yeah, I wish. They have nice fur. I bet I could sell them for a high price. I'm gonna put the rat back in the cage, and I'm gonna come back in 30 seconds. It's in English. It's called works apparently.
A what?
Works.
Works?
WORKS, works. And then there is a example sentence. The quote reflects a cost estimate for the works. Apparently, it's also called construction.
Construction. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's that's what I would. Anyway.
Like the Sagrada Familia.
Yeah, that's also some gothic shit from Spain.
I actually really love the Sagrada Familia.
In Barcelona, right?
Yeah.
It's not so... Okay, he's getting agitated. I gotta get him back to
It's
the
a little
cage.
bit cooler than Gothic.
Sagrada Familia? How do you
Yeah, this... La Sagrada Familia, 𝐿𝐴_SAGRADA space Familia.
Oh, that's
like
fancy.
Familia, but without the R at the... Yeah. The architect is like... I'm pretty sure he designed that by actually hanging cloth from the roof. That's how he got a lot of the measurements. And he's designed a whole bunch of other cool shit too. He's like just a genius architect. But they've been working on that for like 150 years, and it's going to take another, I don't know, 100 years to finish, or like 50 years.
Nice. That's really cool. I really need to figure out a job I can do for my computer so I can travel, see all these damn places. I like have such Wanderlust.
Cam girl.
Cam girl? Am I kind of too old for that now? Everything's fading and wrinkling on me.
There's so many kids who are into MILFs. It's actually really popular. You're probably underestimating how much pop. Yeah, I'm on 4chan a lot of the time, and yeah, there's so many of them that are into like big titty mommy GF.
Okay.
Yeah, you can say some shit like, yeah, Junior, I'm gonna cook you some dinner. You
should see my facial reaction to that.
I will.
You will. Junior, I'm gonna cook you some dinner.
Some tendies, you know. Chief.
Hey,
champion.
Junior.
Hey,
Junior,
champion.
you want your dino tendies?
Oh man.
I'd rather be poor. I'm gonna have to figure something else out. That sounds disgusting. Can't do it.
Do you have any skills?
Yeah, I mean, I used to do reality TV casting. I write. I communicate. I write in English.
Writing is something that you can do at a computer, I suppose.
Yeah. I write. I
Reality TV casting.
Yeah, casting
Wow.
and development production. So yeah, finding people to be on new reality shows that didn't exist yet, and convincing the network to buy them.
Could that be useful for this page?
Yeah.
How?
Somehow.
I mean,
I don't know.
I'm listening, but anyway, I don't generate enough revenue to hire anyone. I have barely enough money to pay myself, so at the moment, I would hire y'all if I could, but right now, I mean, I could offer you a percentage of the revenue on the merch store or something like this, or a percentage of the money I make on Patreon. I make about $50 per month on Patreon. I can offer you a small percentage of that if you want.
No, you're all right. I'm a clever person. I'll figure something out. It's just a matter of like, I've actually got a lot of ideas, so it's just a matter of making the time and being motivated, organized, and committed to a specific plan. That's really all that anything is. So I'll be okay. I'm just complaining. So
Giles is actually getting paid.
yeah.
No. So yeah.
Nice.
For shirts, like
Well,
for like
for shirts, and also I've paid you for some art that you done for me in
Yeah.
the past, and also I've been subscribed to you on Patreon for a long time. I think it's
Oh yeah, damn.
I think it's like €10 per month. So in Australian dollars, it's probably a small fortune.
Well, it's per post, and
that
I've
shit-
been very
that-
very slack. So
That has changed
I have-
then, because I remember when I subscribed, it was per month.
right, that was probably like almost a year ago.
Yes.
So thank you for that.
I mean, you don't
But yeah,
have to.
I started feeling guilty because I wasn't releasing enough artwork, and before an entire month passed without me doing anything, I decided, no, I'm not going to charge people for a month of nothing.
You
So
should.
I changed it to per post.
You did make Greenfield.
That's
Oh
true.
yeah, that's the $10 per creation. So it was €10 per month, and it went down to $10 for creation. That's a steep fall. On the other hand, I've lost apparently a lot of patrons on Patreon. I have only 14 patrons at the moment. $37 per month. God, I made more than 50 a few months ago. What did I do? It was because of the Christchurch thing, right?
You alienated some people.
I guess. Oh no! What happens a lot of the time is that their card gets rejected because they have a red balance. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor. Yeah.
Do you say the same thing in English?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, yeah. So here
There's
we
a
said
lot
it
of
really-
ways to say a lot of things, Nelson.
Yeah, but I thought maybe it was specifically French. When we have negative money on the bank, we say that our bank account is in the red. I didn't know that
Yeah,
it
we
was
say
the
that.
same thing in other
Yeah.
countries.
In the red. In the red's a thing. But yeah, it's probably just that a lot of your supporters are poor, and then at some point they have to like reconsider their finances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
poor.
but I-
I'm one of your Patreon supporters. I'm poor.
I know you were my first Patreon supporter. You've been
was.
supporting me on Patreon for like 3 years now.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Damn.
But yeah, I see that quite often. The card of the person gets rejected, and apparently Patreon does not inform them of that, because I've talked with some people who did not. Oh shit! Yeah, I see it. It's in March that I made the Christchurch memes. In March, I was at $74 per month on Patreon.
Oh.
In April, only $40.
Oh yeah.
I've lost about half. Then it
So
went
when
up
you-
for a while. And in July, I was up to $56, and then it steadily went down. 49 in August, 48 in September, 44 in October, 33 in November, and now 37. Wow.
So what did you do during Christchurch that was in poor taste that alienated a lot of people and lost you a lot of money?
I posted a picture of Sam Hyde that was upside down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was really good. That was funny.
That's
that's
about
it? That's all you did?
Yes.
That's so good.
And you lost half of your recurring monthly revenue over that.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's leaked.
You
but
damn
it's probably-
fool. You goddamn fool.
That's people are being bitches about that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Huh? People are dying all the time, all the world. There's wars and shit and crime cartels in Mexico that just. Did you see that shit about the drug cartels that had a standoff with the Mexican military and won?
No.
No.
When was that?
Oh, a few months ago, a few weeks ago, maybe.
Wow.
It was it was an impressive story.
Yeah, those cartels are pretty powerful over there.
Yeah, they were invented by Ronald Reagan, I believe. Also, the
What a genius.
They probably sprung up organically, but I don't have to correct a statement like that with Stupid facts. Alternative facts. Yeah, I've got some alternative facts for your alternative facts. We can both explore the alternatives. Called Alternative Facts, where I share alternative facts. Yeah.
Sounds good. Hmm.
And do you know that he does his show out of Austin, where I live? Yeah. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
You should try and get him on the show. He would have a fee, wouldn't he? He'd be like, oh, I don't know.
But then we'd have to listen to Alex Jones talk.
Yeah, I would be like grinning the whole time.
I really don't want to. I know.
Yeah, the file might be getting pretty big by now.
Oh. Can you delete some old videos real quick?
We can replace your face with an image at this point in the video.
Yeah. Of a Big Chungus.
Yeah. Big Chungus, but with a goatee.
French Big Chungus. Le Grand Chungus. I just found a picture of French Big Chungus. I'm gonna drop it in the chat.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
How big is the file you've already made? Because... Oof. I reckon I'll have to convert mine to make it a bit smaller. I don't think you can upload a file that size to anything, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to download it off YouTube, though.
That's
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I can unlist it or make it private and then give you the link, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, replace the Nelson's spot in the video with the French Big Chungus during the...
Le Grand Chungus.
Chungus.
Chungus with his baguette and his very large mustache. And his beret to cover his bunny ears.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Oh. When we get back to recording, I'm gonna tell you why I take offense to that. Giles... Oh, what? Sorry. Yeah. Giles, are you sleepy too? I hear you yawning over there.
No, well, I work, like, I'm up and ready for the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he keeps yawning.
Yeah, well,
I'm tired. It's 7 p.m. I didn't get my nap. I've been up since 5 a.m. What? I went to the thrift store and I got the sex manual that gives the tip for putting your nipple in a man's penis.
Nice.
The bad sex thing? Oh, okay. Bad sex award. That'll be fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, like, that it's a bit, I don't know. What it was suggesting could have been pretty bad.
They go in people's bedrooms and judge them. Rate their sex.
What? Oh yeah, bad sex award. Fair. The lemon tree one would be in that list. I don't know if you've seen the lemon stealing whore.
No. Lemon stealing whore?
It's pretty funny. Yeah. Yeah. Basically, James Dean and this other girl, they're like the porn star James Dean. They're sitting on a bench and they're just saying like, "Wow, what a wonderful afternoon. I'm so glad we have this lemon tree like in our yard. We can make all kinds of lemon treats like lemon meringue pie," and they're just like talking about how happy they are, and they turn around and there's this girl in like this just stupid fishnet looking outfit just like stealing the lemons from the tree, and he just runs over and calls her a lemon stealing whore, and then just like it progresses from there in typical porn star fashion. Yeah, like that.
You lemon stealing whore.
Yeah.
And I am able to record again. It's working.
Yay.
Yeah, so it's even better than this because before the whore appears, they already start talking about the lemon stealing whores. They're like, I hope no whores will steal our lemons this year. Those lemon stealing whores, damn those lemon stealing whores. It's so good. It's like 1 minute of pure joy, just like the thing with the two guys who piss in the woods.
What?
Yeah.
The daddy taught us not to be ashamed about it.
Exactly, that's the one.
Yeah.
That one's pretty great too.
And I've been missing out on a lot.
Oh, I will give you the link. So about this picture,
Just-
Oh yeah, so Le Grand Chungus.
yeah, it's super weird because in his hand he has
oh boy.
in his hand he has a baguette, which is a bread that is typically. It's a typical bread of city folk. It's not a countryside bread. It's a city bread. It's mostly made and bought here in Paris, in the
Is
capital.
that the bread he stole in Les Miserables?
Maybe.
Okay. Anyway,
I
carry
don't
on.
remember. But yeah, he's wearing a beret basque from the deep south, like complete, and the hat is at odds with the bread. The bread screams big city, and the hat screams a shithole in the southwest, near the Pyrenees, Spain border. Those are from completely different regions, and there's basically no reason why they would go together. You know, that hat, the beret, is from the deep southwest, just like where Gojira are from, and the bread is from here, Daft Punk region.
What about the
Not at all the
giant?
same.
What about the giant mustache?
I like-
That's even weirder. It looks like Luigi. I don't know. It seems to me that mustaches are more a British thing than a French thing. I've never known anyone who had a mustache. And it seems like more a UK stuff or Italian maybe. Not really.
What about the
What
Chungus?
about the Chungus?
I mean, le Chungus.
Le
The Chungus.
Chungus. Le Grand
Yeah,
Chungus.
I mean, yeah. Well, he's wearing gloves. I never noticed that before. Like, just like Luigi.
Bugs Bunny wears gloves too.
Yeah, I suppose a lot of
Oh,
cartoon characters.
Chungus is Bugs Bunny, isn't he?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Le Grand Chungus is a different character than Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
It's an alternate version of Bugs.
He's a cultured Frenchman. He's been to both parts of France.
Yeah.
All two parts of France.
No idea where the mustache is from, though. There's not a single region that I can think of where wearing a mustache is traditional. The only person I can think of who has a mustache is the guy from Justice.
Maybe it's the fact that mustache is a French word itself, isn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah. Moustache. Le moustache. Yeah, for some reason having a mustache is like a stereotype of a French person, that they have like a curly mustache.
The only one I can think of is 𝙈𝖘𝙍𝘾𝙃, electronic musician from the band Justice. He has a mustache. Now he doesn't have a mustache anymore. He has a full beard now, so it doesn't even work. But 10 years ago he had a mustache.
Yeah, this is a stereotypical French person. I'm sending you a picture right now. That's the international stereotype of the Frenchman.
Yeah, okay, so that's a lot of weird things that should not really go together. So the bread is very accurate. That's actually a very traditional kind of bread called flute, which means flute because it looks like a flute, you know. And
Creative.
so that's even more traditionally French than the baguette. So bread, 10 out of 10. Of course, wine. Yes, everyone loves wine from the north to the south and the east to the west. That is most classic things about France. The wine, definitely, yes. Okay, so that hat is from the deep southwest, from near the Spanish border. It's from a place called the Basque Country, and it's not really seen elsewhere. It's really, really specific of that region. Also, he has some kind of weird thing around his neck, like an old school cravat. And that looks like the people who work in movies and theater wear shit like this, even when it's hot outside. It's weird. Just like that guy, you know, the tingos. That guy.
Yeah. Brilliant.
He's not hot, so he wears a lot of shit.
The man who's
also,
not hot.
Yeah,
they call him the man who is not hot.
Big Shock. It's called Big Shock. And also so the mustache, I have no idea what the fuck it's doing there. And also he's wearing a sailor shirt. It's typical sailor. Being a sailor is not so common here.
So this is like a lot of things that have been seen in France, just like merged into the same character, and it looks bizarre together.
Yeah, the bread and the wine are accurate. I mean, the wine especially. You would see everyone with wine everywhere. That's that's the most accurate part. That's the most accurate part of the picture. Everyone has yeah. I have a bottle just like this in my living room.
And you
right
carry
now.
it around with you on the street.
It happens. Yeah. So they got the food and drink. They got it right. The rest, weird as shit. No, that doesn't. That doesn't look right.
I tried looking for a place in Australia that was called Paris, so that Lisa could go to Paris, Texas, and we could all just like do an episode from Paris.
Yep.
Yeah. There's nowhere in Australia called Paris, but there are like little clubs and things that are called like Paris Club or something. I don't know whether that counts.
There's a place called the Australian Bar in Paris.
Probably, yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
I could go to the Paris bar in Melbourne, and you could go to the Australian bar in Paris.
And I can go to the USA bar in the USA.
Nice. Yeah, in classic USA fashion, just... I ain't doing no gay shit.
It's not very far from where I live, the Australian bar. I could get here and like... it's really great because I can go there by foot. So even if I get really drunk, I can come back home. It's a pretty straight line actually. It's about 25 minutes walk from where I live.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
Yeah.
It's funny when I search.
No, I was just saying it's in the center of the city. It's in the really close to the absolute center, and I don't live very far from the center.
When I search for USA bar where I live, it comes up with Applebee's Bar and Grill, which is actually my favorite chain restaurant of all time. So that's perfect for me.
Nice. I see people like hating on Applebee's or like.
Yeah, I love it for how shitty it is. It's like it's my biggest biggest ironic, post-ironic pleasure.
Hell yeah. Well, and is Olive Garden bad, or is that just another joke too?
Yeah, no, Olive Garden's got very low quality food. But it's another. But the food at Applebee's actually tastes a lot better than the food at Olive Garden. So Applebee's is like a similar type of feeling you can get as Olive Garden, but actually eat food that's palatable.
Right.
Palatable in the way that like fast food is palatable. But it's like it always tastes the same. It's always right. It's always just exactly what you would expect.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it depends. There are some really good fast food and some really bad ones. Five Guys is really good. I remember they opened the first Five Guys 3 years ago in France. And I was there the day of the inauguration, and it was like a 3-hour line in front of...
You watched the tape get cut with the big scissors?
Yeah. I had to wait fucking 2 hours. But it was cool because it was the big time of Pokemon Go. So we could look for Pokemon creatures.
You were just catching a ton of Pokemon online.
Yeah, not a ton, not a ton, but I caught a few. Oh shit! There's a place called Texas Couscous, not far from where I live. I thought it was some kind of restaurant or bar, but it's some kind of art thing.
Texas
It's,
couscous?
Yeah, do you know what couscous is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have it in Texas, though.
Yeah, I suppose. But it's a reference to a joke made by a very famous duo of French comedians that would take a really long time to explain. But basically, it's in one of their best sketch theater shows, they divided the public in two camps, two factions, and one of them was called the Texas Couscous.
Gotcha.
And so for people who like obscure, ironic French theater shit posting, it's an expression.
Nice. Okay. Sounds fun.
So you're I'm gonna see if there's something called Austin. Oh shit! The Google Maps went straight to actual Texas.
Yeah.
That's
That's
not
your
what I
closest
wanted to
Austin,
do.
is actual Austin.
Austin Hotel, not very far, Rue Montgolfier. Another Austin Hotel, a third one. Okay, so we have a lot of hotels called Austin, but no restaurant or bar. Of course, there's probably something called USA or American, whatever. USA Girl Scout Overseas. What the fuck is that?
I could go to Outback Steakhouse here if I want to celebrate Australia.
Oh shit, it's actual Girl Scouts from America, but abroad? That's weird. I thought it was some kind of, I don't know, hotel or restaurant, but it's literally a Girl Scouts from the USA who are like just in front of the Tour Eiffel for some reason. They're scouts, but the rent in that area must be through the roof, pun intended. I'm gonna look if there's something called Victoria. Oh, Victoria's Secret, of course.
Oh yeah, we could all wear Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, broadcast from within Victoria's Secret.
There's something called Victoria Paris. What is it? Oh shit! It's in the fucking worst neighborhood. I'm not going there. Also, it's a Mediterranean restaurant. No, no, it's in the absolute worst place where I never go.
Tell me why. I want to know why.
Basically, it's horrible. It's full of drug dealers and criminals
Hell yeah.
and American tourists. And
Sounds like my kind of people.
And yeah, it's like the big. Also, there's a lot of car stores, which is weird in a city.
More like the best part of Paris.
And yeah, there always people are like driving really fast in obnoxious cars and making a
It's
noise.
my kind of place.
Like, and there's this all kind of big. There's like the Disney store which sells Disney shit, and it's like huge. And there's all ice cream bullshit. That's the place where the guy with the bionic eyes got assaulted in the McDonald's. It was a famous story a few years ago.
Damn.
You remember it?
No.
Well, there was a guy.
Bionic eyes,
There was a
damn.
guy who had bionic eyes because he was blind, and so it was kind of he had, camera thing, and in a McDonald's, the bouncer thought that he was wearing Google Glass, and it was like, you cannot film in here, and the guy was like, the guy was saying nothing because he doesn't know how to speak French. Weird guy with bionic eyes goes in the shittest neighborhood of the city and doesn't know how to speak French. Kind of brought it on himself. But the bouncer tried to remove the thing, but it was since it was an implant that was wired to his skull. The guy got really injured, and it was like a big story. I think it was in 2011, 2012. So yeah, people on Google Plus were raving about it because you know, Google Glass, it was related to the thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, Victoria's Secret, no. Victoria Hotel, we have so many hotels here, it's stupid. What else? Let me see. What's called Victoria in my hood?
There's a street called Victoria Drive here in Austin.
There's a movie studio called Victoria, but yeah, Victoria. What is this? Oh shit! And it seems
Coolio.
that Google Maps is malfunctioning. No, it's bad. Okay, so there's no, nothing interesting. What's the name of your city?
I'm in a place called Bendigo.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if did you see Bushworld, the Rick and Morty thing, where like it's like the Aussie Rick and Morty.
No, never heard of this.
Yeah, Bendigo's where that particular weird fan thing was made. But anyway, it was set. So yeah, Bendigo's like central Victoria.
Yeah. Wasn't that the name of some cryptid also?
A what?
You know what a cryptid is?
Not really. No.
A cryptid is like some weird animal that is supposed to exist, but it doesn't really. Like, an example of cryptid is the Loch Ness Monster or the Bigfoot.
Okay.
And isn't there a cryptid called Bendigo or something like this?
No, we have a cryptid called bunyips.
No, that doesn't ring a bell.
Okay, there's like these creepy things called bunyips that aren't real, but I thought they were for a long time.
Aren't there enough?
Oh, found it! It's Wendigo.
Oh, Wendigo, yeah.
It's a mythological
Yeah, they're creepy.
man-eating creature or evil spirit from the folklore of the Native American Algonquian tribes.
Aren't there enough
coast of Canada.
horrifying animals in Australia? Like, why do they need to make up imaginary ones?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a fair question.
That's my point.
My favorite one was drop bears. Because for a long time
Humans
I did not even think to question the veracity of the drop bear. You know, I really thought, yeah, there's this thing in Australia called the drop bear, and it's like a koala that has rabies and it falls from trees. I thought it was real. It did not even occur to me that it was maybe fabricated.
Yeah, I don't know why Australians like to fuck with tourists like that, but yeah.
I mean, I think it's a pretty much universal thing.
Yeah.
Why does anybody fuck with anybody, really?
Yeah, probably did for the laughs.
Yeah, fun.
For the lols. Just
For the lols.
doing it for the lols. Yep.
So there's Australian embassy, very nice, but that's not what I'm looking for.
I'm now like leaning back and hiding behind my microphone on my camera.
Yeah, but maybe we can stop the episode now.
Yeah, should we get out of here?
Yeah, you see, Bendigo. I typed it to see if there was something in Paris named that, and it tells me Bendigo, Victoria, Australia, sunny, 31 degrees Celsius. That's heaven. I want to have this.
Yeah, right.
It's cold as shit here.
Well, it's going to be like 40 and shit over the next few days, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that the fires were forecast to continue until February or March.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah. No pun intended.
That's all in New South Wales, though. Yes. That's all in New South Wales, so like it's pretty far away from me.
Cool.
But because of the ozone layer being shitty in this area, you can get sunburnt just going for a short walk, like a 10-minute walk down the road.
Oh shit.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does. I'm like genuinely just afraid of the sun and avoid it a lot.
Aw. Are you a vampire? You like just stay inside all the time?
A little bit. On my camera, you'll be able to see my like canines.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say pale skin, but you got straight for the canines.
And the canines.
Yeah, well,
Surrounded by pale skin.
It's an interesting challenge for me because I almost never had a sunburn in my life. Because I have a skin that somehow
They
is
suck.
naturally. What?
sunburns suck a lot.
Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah. I had one in my life that I really remember of. I had one bad one, and I got it in Belgium of all places, in a music festival, and it was a very, very hot summer, and I was in the sun from morning to night every day for several.
Yeah, dude,
every day for several days.
that would
and
kill you in Australia.
Yeah, it was 42 degrees outside, so pretty hot.
Oof.
I don't know how to translate that in American, sorry, but I think it's like 110. And
110.
Say
Yeah.
about 110.
About 100.
fortunately there was
110.
Fortunately there was a lot of wind, so I did not feel the heat that much. But damn, did I get a huge sunburn, biggest sunburn of my life. Also, there was a year that I got one, but it was just on my nose, so it doesn't really count. And I got another one recently here. It was, well, I was talking about earlier of these times in like February or March where here the temperature skyrockets for a few days. And that's the last time I got a sunburn. It was in the spring of 2013. So Australian sun sounds kind of an interesting challenge for me. I want to see how fast it can burn me, if it can, because I'm pretty.
Oh, it can burn you.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure,
Yeah.
but we could like place bets on how many hours it takes. Like
How many
like
minutes?
True.
How many
like first day I
seconds?
go out for only 1 hour, and then second day 2 hours, and then I keep doing this until I get a sunburn, if I get one.
Yeah, well, you're welcome to come over to Australia and test it out.
Sounds great. I've gotten many sunburns, so I know that I would want to put on a lot of sunblock in Australia. That sounds like a given.
Yeah, or maybe just clothes.
Mm.
Sunblock is not as effective as people think it is.
Clothes on your face.
Yeah, it's called a burqa. Yeah.
A burqa. Giles, do you suggest that I wear a burqa to avoid sunburn in Australia?
No.
I'm very
Bendigo is like fairly xenophobic.
Oh.
They wanted to build a mosque here at one point, and then all of these people created this protest. This yeah, but it was like it was really stupid the way that it was organized, and they were like they didn't even know the actual spot it was being built. Like, so they protested the wrong location, and like people from different parts of Victoria came down to just join in, even though it wasn't their town or anything.
Damn.
It was dumb.
Yeah. Well, that sent a message, I guess. No, I would use Neutrogena Sport Face 100 SPF. That's what I would always use whenever I would go sailing when I lived near an ocean. And
SPF 100.
yeah, it protected
Wow.
my face pretty well. So, yeah, that's what I would wear in Australia.
Hippopotamus sweat is SPF 50. They found.
Really?
Yeah,
So I could just
it's pink.
go up to a hippo and rub my face all over it.
Yeah, theoretically. But they're also the biggest human killer of all animals.
They might not enjoy a human nuzzling up to them to get their sunscreen.
Depends on if, like, you're standing on their kid or something.
Yeah. Maybe. Do you use really high-powered sunscreen when you go out?
I just roll the dice every time I go out in the sun.
Just don't go out.
Oh, I either don't go out. I go from like my home to the bus to inside the shop to back inside the bus to back in my home and just like avoid the sun in between.
Yeah. I don't know. I need to go outside personally. I need to go out and about, do some hiking and stuff. Like, if I don't do that for too long, I start getting all like weird and.
Huh.
In fact, I probably haven't been out on a hike for too long. Right now. That's what's wrong with me currently.
Hiking is cool.
Mhm. It involves sun exposure.
Depends. You could hike at night, I suppose.
You could hike just inside a cave, like a really long
Oh yeah,
cave path.
like Floyd Collins.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know who that is.
You don't know who that is? I thought it was
No.
from your. I thought this kind of thing from your neck of the woods.
There's a lot of things in my neck of the woods that I'm not aware of.
Oh no! Excuse me. It happened in Kentucky. So.
Ah! Kentucky! My nemesis! Kentucky!
Yeah. Oops. It's a
I
very
liked-
Kentuckian story.
I like what Daryl said. I like what Daryl said KFC stands for. He said it was Kentuckin' fucking chicken. Kentuckin' fucking chicken.
Yeah, I think Daryl said that. Right? Daryl.
Yeah, he did.
Daryl
yeah.
Robinson.
Daryl Robinson. Straight from the horse's mouth. So, what did y'all think of your KFC today? I want a food review on it. We never really talked about the food.
Well,
Mine was day old, refrigerated, like microwaved, but it was excellent.
That's great.
my tendies were quite dry, but the hot wings were really nice, and the other chicken things also were really nice. I'm realizing I ordered so much of it, it's gonna last maybe for a week, because I was really afraid of not having enough. I didn't eat for the whole day just to prepare for this, and I ended up eating like 4 little pieces.
Wow.
I got quite a lot left. I'm gonna show it to the camera and you'll see. I got quite a lot left in my bucket.
I'm looking at that
course.
chicken right now. That's Christmas right
That was a
there.
little embarrassing. Please don't do that again.
What?
I did not enjoy that one bit.
The sound?
Yes.
Sorry.
I'm all for sound effects, but not this one, please.
You said no more, Giles. Was it mine or Giles's or both of ours? Like, what was the worst?
I don't know. I don't have the eye fixated on your mic levels at all times. I was actually looking at my chicken when that happened, so I cannot tell.
When that happened. The incident?
The incident.
The
Exactly.
slurping incident?
Yeah. I'm very frustrated at Google Maps right now. I'm trying to find how to lock the map on a specific area to look for things. And I cannot find how. I'll see that later. Hey, we've been Yeah, what?
Every time I hear the term tendies from here on out, I'm going to be thinking of MILF porn. MILF cam girls.
Yeah. I think it already was a meme. There was one porno that starts with the girl with the MILF coming home and saying, "I bought your tendies for you," and so that was a meme for a little while.
Interesting.
I got your favorite tendies.
So disturbed right
Yeah.
now. I'm making my disturbed face. I'm a huge fucking
Yeah.
pig, by the way. If you guys don't know that about me.
People should just like not use like baby talk stuff in like
No,
anything
never.
sexual. Just like
Never.
yeah,
It's
no,
wrong.
yeah.
It's against our human nature. We're wired to like vomit when that happens.
Not everyone,
Well, they
unfortunately.
should be. Huh.
Not Epstein.
Bad dude. What are you looking for, Nelson? Do you want help?
I was trying to find how to lock Google Map on a specific place to look for things, but then I got distracted by
You can make pins, can't you?
what?
You can make pins on
Yeah,
Google
but-
Maps, I'm pretty sure.
Like when I'm looking for a word, I want the thing in a specific place. Oh yeah, I found what I was looking for. By the way,
Cool.
Shit. Yeah, I found it. Download that stupid picture. So Discord is making trouble now. Okay, there it is. That's the.
Oh man. Yeah.
It's funny because when I googled the search terms for what I was looking for, literally the first picture on absolute top of Google image search was this. Not sure I can put that on YouTube. So for people at home, you will just have to Google thick mommy GF and look at the first picture on Google Images.
I'm making a very disapproving face right now.
Yeah.
The Sweet Mummy GF, like some of those things I'd be fine with.
I mean, yeah, of
Just
course.
the fact that they're all in the context of each other is what makes it so disturbing.
I'm never ever calling anyone mommy.
Yeah.
Even my own mum. Never. That's
same.
just weird.
That's a given.
Oh,
there's one that looks like you.
So
What? Me?
Yeah, you.
No.
A little.
yes.
I'm fighting this so much.
Kind of looks like you, no?
Yeah, no, for sure.
There's
I mean,
something. There's really something.
Yeah, no, it does. That's why I'm so
Especially
upset.
the eyes.
Yeah.
Do you want chicken nuggies or tendies? Yeah. Ugh. See, I told you that the nuggie, the tendy thing is already in movement.
Yeah, I will.
Oh my god.
Don't you ever think I mind you calling me mommy?
Oh,
I kind of
God.
like it.
Oh god.
Chalky milk. No.
My searches are getting worse and worse.
Oh god.
Right now I'm at tendy porn, and it's worse, much worse than I expected.
Oh.
Like, don't.
You don't condone that
I
Google
mean-
search.
It's quite worse than what I expected. There's on Pornhub. There's oh yeah, I think I found it. Stepmommy thing. That's the one.
Yeah.
Interesting. Apparently,
Is she coming in through
I
the
don't
front
know,
door?
there's a lot of dandy video on Pornhub for some reason.
Yeah, wow.
So that's surprising. Okay, I'm looking at one right now, and it's literally a video of someone making tendies apparently.
No.
It is. Those are not tendies, by the way. Those are very obviously chicken nuggets. So weird.
Well, dino
The
tendies
nuggies.
are nuggets in the shape of dinosaurs, so
Tendies are not nuggets. Nuggets are.
what's the difference between a nugget and a tendy?
Well, it's very easy. A nugget is some kind of sludge that is made from chicken and then shaped into a small thing. A tendy is chicken breast, battered and battered.
Yeah, it's like a fillet, yeah.
A dino tendy is actually a chicken nugget in the shape of a dinosaur, like an actual
dino nugget.
but they call them dino tendies.
Oh, that yeah. By the way, I wanted to ask about a thing that you have in America that I am very confused about. What the fuck? What the fuck are boneless wings? Because y'all are really obsessed with boneless stuff.
They're pieces of chicken breast that are battered like wings.
What? So they're not wings at all?
No, of course not.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I mean we've done worse.
Debatable.
Do they boneless wings are the
Buffalo sauce doesn't have buffaloes in
after
it.
all of the CIA like coups and assassinations of like of world leaders and
Shit!
the wars that we've started and the pollution and the Donald Trump, the worst thing we've ever done is boneless wings. That's what you're telling me.
I was searching for chicken tendy porn and I found some chicken pox porn, which I wish I didn't know existed.
Chicken pox.
Oh,
If you can imagine
wait,
it,
what?
it's been made into a porn already.
Yeah.
Imagine it now and then Google it and it's going to be there.
It's not as bad as you think, but it's something.
What's the premise? If I
Basically,
dare to ask.
there's a guy in the hospital who is very sick with chicken pox, and then a nurse fucks him so good that it cures his chicken pox.
Aww.
So that's not.
That sounds great.
But the premise
Sounds
is
really
still,
uplifting.
no pun intended.
Uplifting in all the right places.
I suppose. I'm getting a little tired. It's 3 a.m. and
That's fine.
I've not woken up really early today. I think I woken up like in 1 p.m. in the morning. But still, I probably should go to bed soon. So if we could wrap this up, not
I'm all about it.
not immediately, but like in less than 10 minutes, it would be great because there's less of 10 minutes left in my camera to film. So there's actually about 6 minutes left. So if we could just say, oh shit, you know what? I was about to say let's too short eat dessert first, but we should have eaten dessert first. Oh, you know
Before.
what? I declare it. Chicken tendies are dessert. Fixed.
I didn't eat
Nice.
chicken tendies.
You had waffles. It's literally a dessert.
Yes, you're right. My entire meal was a dessert.
Exactly. So,
Okay.
Life short, mixed dessert with
yeah,
Yes.
and
Dinner.
you had like buffalo sauce. We're gonna say it's dessert as well. It's sugary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put
Sure.
some ketchup on my tendies, so dessert.
That's very taboo in France.
Yeah.
Next, you'll be doing
Do
crack
do
cocaine.
do French people do like porn of people covered in ketchup?
I know that.
It's like a very naughty thing.
Well, there's this famous Korean girl who does that.
Oh yeah. You referenced her when I did unsalted butter as moisturizer as a food review.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I appreciated the comparison.
Yeah. Well, I was not so sure if that if what you did was a reference to the butter shave episode from Seinfeld, where Kramer puts butter all over himself, or or if it was a reference to Last Tango in Paris with Marlon Brando.
No, it wasn't a reference to either of those things. What happened was I was just sitting in the kitchen where I work, and normally after we cook lunch, we take a little break and I rub olive oil on my skin because my hands get really dry from all the dishwashing that I do, and I was feeling too lazy to get up and get olive oil, but we had some softened butter sitting right there because we had been eating biscuits. And yeah, I just took some of the butter right there and started rubbing it on my skin as an experiment. And so I wanted to do a whole food review about it, and I used a different brand of butter. So I could try various brands of butter.
2 minutes left on my camera. What's the connection between biscuits and butter?
You put butter on biscuits to enjoy them more fully.
Biscuits must be very different in America. So because when I think about biscuits, the idea of putting butter on them.
Oh yeah, cookies. The biscuits is the word they use for cookies over on that side of the pond. Giles, what's a biscuit to you? 2 minutes.
A biscuit is like the really dry, crunchy
like you put inside
thing.
your tea at snack time.
Yeah, for me, a biscuit is like it's kind of like a scone, but a lot moister and fluffier.
A what?
But it's savory.
Oh, wow.
Like it's just like salty bread, and with like a muffin scone consistency, and then putting butter on it makes it extra good.
Scone. I thought you said skunk.
No, scone.
Yeah, but a British scone or American scone, because there's are quite different. I'm much more familiar with the British scones.
Think like a dinner roll. Think like a dinner roll with kind of more of a muffin consistency.
I'm sorry,
That's a biscuit.
dinner roll is Chinese to me. Never heard this.
Dinner roll?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. No idea.
Dinner roll.
A piece of bread that you eat on your plate with your meal.
Okay, so bread.
Yeah, but like as a
1 minute.
we'll have to save this for next time.
It's fine with. It's fine.
Too complicated to explain what a fucking dinner roll is.
I can look it up, but
okay.
Yeah,
we'll talk about this. We'll talk about this later.
We hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas.
Subscribe to my Patreon, bitches.
And life short, eat dessert first.
And a Happy New Year. 30
And a
seconds.
Happy New Year.
So,
You guys have to say the line too.
I've said it already.
Life's
Life's too short, eat dessert first. 20 seconds.
too short, eat dessert first.
Yeah, so there's 15 seconds for me left to say that thanks everyone for listening. We'll come back really soon. A lot of episodes coming in January. See ya!
Okay. There we go.